just standing posture, seeing the breath. Find your breath. Take your time. While we're finding our breath, consider that the legs are straight, not knock-kneed, for example. That the crown is up, chin is slightly forward. That you're connecting to the ground. You're aware that there's ground there and your feet are, apart from the arch, are flat on the ground. Everything is touching the ground apart from the arch. We want the body to be in balance, so it's straight. There's effort to stand up. Drop the tailbone, relax the hips and the knees. Now, rowing on a lake is a little bit like picking up something, a weight, you know, especially depending on your back. If your back is bad and you need to pick up a coin for luck, then you go as well through the knees, okay? Apart from that, there's no harm in going like this if there's no weight, you know, presuming that you're not feeling very stiff. This morning I was doing going through a bunch of kidney exercises, and I went all the way down. I actually did the turn arms like flywheel. And I felt it a little in my back because I was touching the ground straight away. And I thought, well, that's then I came back up again, you know, trying to remember my own tips. I just went to here. And that then warmed it up. That's loosened it up. And that's important, not to strain. So I show you. The arms do this kind of motion, right? Hands turn behind you and forward. You can join in if you want. Make sure your shoulders do this as well. Okay, like a shoulder warm-up. So we're going shoulders up when your hands are up, forward when your hands are forward, you know, and drop them back, turn the wrists. So we have that movement with the arms. It's quite a warming movement. And we're doing it with a slight arch here in the back. Try and feel that arch. You don't even have to bend to arch it's almost the lower back, but it's belly button height, right? There's a bunch of very important acupoints there. So when you do that arching movement, now let's fill up your lungs and push with the breath down on the tummy, so the tummy pushes out on your back. Yeah, I'm not compressing in my mouth, it's just coming out. So we're stretching around the kidneys and we're compressing through the gut, which is also good for the gut, right? It's making the pressing and letting go, pressing and letting go. It'll help with bowel movement. It'll help with the belly muscles, toning the tummy. So inhale up and press down as you go down. Arching. Yeah, notice I haven't been bending down yet, girls. I'd like you to notice the compression combined with the arm movement and the breath, not having to work out the balance and the bending. And as they come up, so I'm just arching here. I'm not bending. No, that's the light. You see, I'm arching the lower back, but I'm not bending so much, right? That's what it looks like. Some of you are doing. Look how far my head goes. That's it. This is because you need to feel the kidneys being compressed. Otherwise, if you don't feel the kidneys being compressed and the rest of the movement in the lower-ish back, we don't want to do a shallow Qigong exercise where the movement externally looks good, but internal, there's nothing much happening. Because you know internally there's a lot that has to happen. And then you only need a dozen repeats at the most to get results. So we're compressing using our breath and our stomach muscles. We're stretching up here. So try and stretch all the way down to the pelvis, or tailbone at least. Down. So now maybe you're starting to feel heat on the inside of your arms. Because you're stretching up here and the shoulders are rolling. Remember that too. And pressure here. Not in the mouth, more here, pressure in the tummy. Okay. Any comments so far? Anything? Aches and pains? Okay. Then I'll talk a little bit about the bending, because I'm sure you know, and you've heard me using the legs to pick up, right? So when we're going to bend, we'll also use the knees a bit to bend, rather than the hip joint, right? Just in the middle. That can be very strenuous because you're lifting half your body weight, more. I mean, how much do the legs weigh? How much if we take out the hips, how much does the upper body and the arms weigh, you know? And then you're just using the muscles here and the hip joint and the muscles connected all to the hip, right? So if we bend our knees, we're using all of the leg muscles. So it's going to strengthen your legs and it's going to ease up on your back. Without the arm work, I won't go down too low, just so you don't feel that that's the point of it, right? And as you warm up, you'll be able to go lower. But it's more important to remember all the aspects I've been talking about than to go down and touch the ground. It's not that important. You want compression. You want the shoulders to roll. You want to save your back and use your legs, because we want to stretch around the kidneys, right? So we use the knees to come down, Remember, our shoulders are down when we're here. Can you see that? I'm wearing a very dark sweater, but I'm a little cold, so you can't see my light t-shirt. And shoulders down. Just relax the head for the moment. You can let it down, whatever. Okay, just try and relax it. And then as we come up with the arms, we want to slowly start to straighten up the legs, but slowly, right? Don't straighten up the legs all the way. Just you want to start engaging a bit in the legs as you're here. And then remember that pelvic thrust as you come up, right? Otherwise, you're going to end up with your legs straight. And look, my torso is still down here. And then I'm going to lift it again, just using the lower back, which we're trying to avoid. So the way to avoid straining your lower back is straighten the legs simultaneously, pelvic thrust. That pushes you. So I'm using the thigh, the belly, as well as the lower back to straighten up. All right? That's a big difference. You'll know if you have a sore back and you try it that way. So we're engaging the thigh, the hip, as well as the belly and lower back to come up. Right? So let's just try that, just so you feel it. It's very important. I'll just go the other way. So we're bending, the hands are about here, right? And later they'll be more here. But relax the head and stay breathing. Slightly straighten the legs, push forward the pelvis. Automatically your torso will come up. Okay? Just try that slowly a couple of times. I'm already starting automatically to feel rooting in my feet. All your foot stays on the ground besides the arch. And that's a good thing, right? The rooting, the connection with the ground. Also, the kidney 1 point is just under the ball of the foot. So you want to think about activating that, at least through pressing on the ball of the foot. Pelvic thrust as you come up. Using all the muscles of the legs. All right. Thigh, apart from the womb, the thigh muscle is the biggest muscle in the body. So it's my biggest muscle. Let's do it with the arms. The arm behind. Let me just feel it turns. The thumbs go out. Right? As you turn. This will be more gradual as you practice. Right? The thumbs coming out gradually, 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 gradually as you come up. And when you're behind, I'm not, I'm hardly behind, I'm more in a line, right? I'm more like this in a line, but it comes from behind, up, it'll be in a line, and then up top. So you want the wrists and hands to gradually turn, rather than poof, and then everything comes up. Remember, everything works gradually. So let's connect the turning of the hands with the lifting of the arms behind you. For a sec, just don't come up and down yet. Just get that turning a little bit. Nice and slow. Remember the shoulders, the shoulder blades. In and up, exhale and down. Keep the knees a bit bent. You might as well, while you're doing this movement, feel an up and a down awareness, which is part of the visualization, because you can practice that now. In, breathing in, coming up, energy rising. Exhale, moving down, a downward energy. It's so natural, really, moving up and an upward awareness. It's what the martial artists use to pack a powerful punch. They go outward with an outward energy awareness. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. So let's get that, just to get that knee and leg and hip and lower back and belly, upward movement, pelvic thrust, connected with the circling here. Okay. And don't worry about everything else for the moment. I'm just going to go up first, but as I go down, I start to bend the knees, come down, right? I'll go in profile in a sec. As I come up, straightening, pelvic thrust, up, and stretch. And now go down, bend the knees, rooting, turning wrists slowly, breathing in, pelvic thrust, raise the arms, la-di-da. There shouldn't be strain on your back. Oh, I've got a nag screen. There shouldn't have to be a strain on your back. Okay? Learn to use the pelvic thrust, leg lift for coming up. And the up and down energy feeling from in deep in the ground. See, just remember to relax the head. We won't direct it, just relax it. There are a few details, but I'm not going to do them now. I'm just looking. It's good, Diana. Just coordinate the lifting of the hands more with your upward movement. Hands start going behind you, behind you, behind you, and up and turning. See, you're almost standing straight, Diana, with your arms still here. So you want to get arms here already turning up, right? And there, if you, yeah, bring them out already. Look, my knees are bent, my hands are already here. And then finish. Yeah, finish here. What we want. So we're up, up, up. So you have to slow down the leg straightening if possible. I think that's happening with a few people. Okay, ladies, let's work on the coordination a bit, okay? Because you've got a few days now to work on this, and we'll add details. What we're looking for is in the crouch position. I'm already, all my legs are engaged, all of the legs or feet, hips, back are now engaged, right? And I'm straightening, and I'm not quite finished, but look how high the hands are already. The point is, when the legs are straight, the hands are up, not before, I mean. So just coordinating that circle with the up and down. Okay, hands are up only when the legs are straight, hands are down when we're completely compressed, you can call it. Whoops. And so working on the coordination a bit, if you can. If you can't, then just memorize it. And from the side. Now you might be able to go lower because you've warmed up. Okay. Okay, that's better. You just want to work on, you have to work on the coordination.